Through the first 117 boxes of this nickel hunt and album fill series, we have found all but one nickel in the Series 1 book. Just need that 50D. Since we started the Series 2 books, the first 17 boxes has yielded 125 out of 136, so we're just short 11 more nickels, including the 50D as well. I went ahead and took a peek to see where we're at after 19 boxes on the first book, and we were only needing 10 more nickels to complete the set. So, if we don't find a 50D in one of these two boxes, I'm hoping we at least find one find for the Series 2 books. That way, we stay on track with where we were through 19 boxes on the first series book. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure. Welcome back to my channel. We've got another nickel hunt and album fill episode today. Episode 70, a 2-box hunt. Boxes 118 and 119 of the first book and 18 and 19 for the second book. As I said in the intro, I'm hoping that if we don't find a 50D today, we find some silver or some buffaloes, something fancy, but at worst case, one more slotted nickel for Series 2 books would be good. That'll keep it on pace with where we were after 19 boxes in the Series 1 album. Now, you guys know the drill. I do have to pre-open my boxes from the bank to make sure that they are circulated nickels because I've gotten so many uncirculated boxes lately. It's crazy. That being said, we do have 100 rolls to hunt. I'm going to slide these out of the way. We'll take a look at those at the end. And after we've done the hunt, we'll take a look at the finds to see if we can slot anything in either of the albums. All right, let's get this hunt started. It's time to hunt 100 rolls. And will we find that 50D? Well, it took us 13 rolls to have our first 40s nickel find of the hunt, but we do have one. 1941, and that might be a San Fran. And it is. 41S gets us started in the 40s. We did find a 57D and actually a better date, pretty nice condition, 1958 Philadelphia, not full steps. All right, back to the hunt. Heat up time for the box. Roll number 18 and our second find from the 40s is going to be a transition year nickel. A 1942 with some damage. Now there are silver war nickels or 35% silver nickels minted in 1942, but this doesn't look like it's going to be one. And it's not because it have a large mint mark above the Monticello building. If it was, and it doesn't have that, it doesn't even have a mint mark adjacent. So it's not even a 1942 Denver. So we can't even check it for the 42D over horizontal D. But either way, we'll take it. 1942, 2 40s nickels finds, along with 3 from the 50s. Roll number 23. Our third nickel from the 40s is going to be a 1946 Denver. Roll number 25 is going to give us our best find of the box. Check it out. We've got a proof nickel. 1997 San Francisco minted proof nickel. We'll take that all day. Don't find them too often, but I do find my fair share of proof coins in my hunts. Pennies being the hardest to find, as well as dimes. 1997S proof nickel, halfway through the first box. Roll number 32, and I thought I missed a war nickel for a second because that had a war nickel look, but that is a 1948. And it's going to be a 48 Philadelphia. Roll 34, another 40s Jefferson. 1947 Denver. Man, we got a lot of years. Check this out. 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54. Nothing in the mid-50s. And then we have 48, 47, 46, 42, and 41. Let's fill up that 50 spot. Roll number 36. Getting closer. We've got a 1949. 1949 Philadelphia. Roll 41. Another 40s find. 46 Philly. Just cracked open roll number 42, and I'm pretty certain we're going to have a silver nickel. It has the edge. Is it one? And it is. This is going to be a Philadelphia minted, probably 43. No, 1945 Philly. We'll take it. Cool patina to it. Now we've got a silver and a proof and a boatload of older Jeffersons. Roll number 43, another 40s find. This box has a lot of older Jeffersons, And we did get the war nickel, 1946 Denver, but no semi-key or key dates yet, and no 50D. Roll 44, yet another older Jefferson, 1947 Philadelphia. Roll number 49, continuing on with the older Jeffersons, 1946 Philadelphia. Well, we finished box 1 of the 2-box hunt, and it was actually a really good box. We got 14 in the 50s and 11 in the 40s, including the 1945 silver wartime nickel minted in Philadelphia. That's 25 finds there, and the 26th find was a 1997 S proof nickel, which I'll take. 26 finds in a box is more than what I usually expect. 20 to 25 is a nice hunt, and we did better than that. On top of that, we got a couple of really nice 70s nickels that I'll check against both books to see if they upgrade. 1 box down, another box to go. You guys know what's going to happen next. Let's see if we can continue the finds in box 2. Roll number 62, yet another 1946 Philadelphia. Roll number 75 is going to have another 40s find, and it's going to be an ender. I had to peel it away, but I see a 1941 there. Let's see what the mint is and see if it has any friends. That 1941 ender is from Denver. We're on roll number 88, and I have to film this in case it is what it could be. Take a look at the reverse on this older Jefferson strike with a Denver mint mark and potentially full steps. Whenever I find an old strike like that with a little bit of toning, tells me it's probably been in a collection, and there is a Denver mint mark, so before I flipped it, I figured I better grab the camera in case it is the 50D. Let's take a look at the reverse first. Man, that is a nice Denver minted nickel. Please be the 50D. It's not the 50D. It's a 1947D. It's not a key date or a semi-key date, but this condition is fantastic, and it'll probably upgrade one of the albums for sure. But bummer. Man, I thought we had the 50D this time. I'm not going to lie, based on that reverse. Let's take a look at the mint mark and then the steps. Definitely a Denver. And there's a pretty good amount of softness there. You need at least 5 lines, and I see 1, not even quite 2, 3, 4, and not the 5th. So definitely not full steps, although it was probably originally struck with full steps. It's a really nice 47D. That's unfortunate, but still welcomed. We'll put it at the top because it's such a nice find. Let's get back to the hunt. Roll number 92, and just open it up, and I think we have a war nickel somewhere near the front right here. And we do. Second war nickel of the 2-box hunt, and it's another nice Philadelphia. And this time it is a 43P like I thought last time. So we'll quickly check it for that overdate, which I don't see the 3/2, and the doubled I, which is tough to see on these, and I don't see the doubled I. A nice 1943P war nickel, though. Second war nickel of the hunt, and maybe an upgrader for one of the books. Oh, and right after that 50D scare, we found a 52D in the very next roll. Last roll of the hunt, roll number 100. Second coin in is a damaged 1941. And is that a San Francisco? It is. What a shame, though. It's a pretty nice 1941 as far as details, but it's not going to be a user with all that damage. 1941S. No bueno. Well, that 2-box nickel hunt has been completed, and you know what? It was a great 2-box hunt in general. 42 total finds on the board, and let me go ahead and cover them. We had 23 nickels in the 50s, including a tougher date and in great condition, 1958 Philadelphia. So that might upgrade one of the books for sure. It's a lower mint. We had 16 finds in the 40s, including that absolute stunner of a 1947D that gave us a scare that it might have been a 50D. probably an upgrader as well. And then 2 war nickels, a 1945 and a 43, both Philadelphia, minted 35% silver. Coincidentally, despite all the finds, we had none from 1940, none from 1944, which would have been silver, and no 1950 or 51 or 53. Only 5 years not represented from 1940 to 1959. Definitely a great 2-box hunt. We also got a couple of low minted 2009 Denver nickels. They're not in great shape. I have a whole bunch of them, but I do pull them aside. Just wanted to point those out. And then the 1997 San Francisco minted proof nickel. Always a fun find. On top of all those finds, we had quite a few dandies. That 74p is awesome. That 76p is pretty nice. That 83 Philadelphia is decent. And that 89 Denver is also nice. So we'll check those against the books. Speaking of the books, let me go ahead and comb through the finds, see if we have any album additions, although I don't think so, and or upgrades, which I do believe we do. Well, we have compared the finds to both books, and I'm pleased to announce, despite not finding the 50D for Series 1, we were able to upgrade the pretty nice 47D that was in the book with the one we found in today's hunt. That being said, no other additions to the Series 1 album. For Series 2, we did not add any yet again, but we did have 8 upgrades. All 4 of the nice nickels were used in the modern side. We actually added as well that 1958 Philly in beautiful shape. We did use the 45p, which is better than the one we had in the book. And of course, that 43p is a stunner, so that definitely upgraded as well. And then finally, we took the Series 1 47D, which is a really nice one in and of itself, but you can clearly see it's not as nice as the one we found today, but it did upgrade the one in here. So the 47D, the 2 war nickels, the 58p, and the 4 modern nickels were the 8 upgrades for the Series 2 books. And despite not adding any, I'll always take 8 upgrades to make the book nicer than it was before the 2-box hunt. Unfortunately, we didn't add any more nickels to the books. So after 119 boxes for Series 1, still stuck on that 137 out of 138. And after 19 boxes for Series 2, still missing 11 nickels, which now puts the Series 2 album 1 nickel behind where Series 1 was after the first 19 boxes. Hopefully, despite not adding any additions to the books, you guys still found this 2-box hunt fun. I know I did. It's always nice adding some silver to the jar, a proof to the collection, and getting some upgrades. If you did, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting. And thanks for watching. Couple of more silver war nickels found during the hunt. Couple of more silver war nickels for the 2022 silver jar.